three or four homes. The ability has detached from my slim mad sleeve. It has pecked at my frazzled lower lip and slipped my collar, and lurched back into the rubble underground. A dim expression snatched the uneasy personality. Now I lounge about with a decoy face, gulping boring chords. I crimp in tangled repetition. I think I might as well lick his ribbon-thin boy ribs. The longing dropped my deathless stance here, where our family smirked through grim humiliations. They yap and yearn for a word of healthy small talk. They rotate away, and I'm well. What can I do with this freak orphan love broadening my lungs, inflating poor organs with anhedonic air? I operated on it. I'm disappointed. I'm trying to kiss his child face, but I keep nicking his cheekbones, sleepy teeth. Now the opposites have crept in, gnawing on smooth lips. Now I'm stale vegetable bones. I'm predictable, slick as a fish. I'm beating water to dodge the annoying pressure of this place. There is no end to the bipolar vague. I've harvested possibilities. I've pulled the affectionate string. I've held its thin, pretty hand. I've mangled its hue to include me. I've wanted your depression to stay, rupture a tomb in me. You do not know how good it is to want things. I am suffering a homemade disease. I am common. There is nothing wrong with me. His temperature. Your tempted lip transmitted the appetite. After the fish hooks flapped out of your hands, the leftover flesh grovelled. I'm stuffed with a gallon of stale cake. If I matured anymore, my tremor would swivel right through the lampshade. Paranoia adjoins the groaning parlors in this house. It is a relief to be out, eavesdropping the crucial jabber of ducks next door. Jars packed with boggled voices warp and twist off their lids. A mute pig sits in my sugared throat. Your complexion only exists to validate the neutrality of my pallor. The welt on my wallpaper cheek is obedient, swirling the swell down to announce each quarrel, like platters of heavy desserts to be served. I penetrate the reluctant slit in your ribcage and grab at flavors of selfish jelly. Downstairs, the cat screams. It is required to nibble down the ears of visitors, to sift through the sacrificial stems in their drains. The beaten eggs sigh, the royal shells tremble. Forks moan along their legless bones, and the swift mixing of opposites makes me sick. After the fog sneezed into your pressure points, the frantic passion mucked up your hips. The lamp held its breath. The stunned utensils demanded a celebration. Once the event takes place, I will release the unstable soap I cocked in your face. The drowsy stick of butter in the duck pond relaxes. The onlookers cheer for quick and entire digestion. The ornaments. Tomorrow there will be work to do. Today the orphan cocoons took root under my tongue. I clucked the muscle that they refused to unglue. I'm hesitant to speak. The plunder of stubborn bugs might erupt. A glittered baby suffers in this house. Her elastic flesh cannot be tackled. It is too sanitary, too crisp to hang from the jittery fish hooks. My whittled belly limps over her crib, to snicker at the fat apple complexion, the smelly berries, and the hermit eyes. I suck at the holiday face and get nothing but a crop of deathbed butterflies and a fistful of lice. Antennas flex around my collarbone. My scalp is deranged. It is effortless to be so hushed, to observe the daughter's head as it swelters, lolling about and drowsy as a kettle. There is nothing I can do, rigid as the cat's back and plastered in the neutral icebox, waiting for the clumsy baby to simmer away and poking the rude oral knobs with a nauseous jackknife. I crumple the disappointing moths with one amnesiac lick. There is nothing precious in the crib, but an old knapsack muffled with ancient earwax. Once I chisel the brainwashed plaque off my lips, the perfect birthmarks will come back. I will shuffle around milk-filled and jaunty as a pig. Tomorrow morning I will strut through the sty with porridge spoons hinged on my positive chin. A new surgery will begin around the vacant cradle. A mother will applaud the doctor, flinging prim bows into my mouth. No one will even notice the leftover pests flapping out. Reduction. The skeleton left several hours ago. I completed the hysterical dance on my vagabond hands and withered away my smitten gut. Now my mind has gone blank as a fish. There's not much to do around here. I hang my extra weight in the ratty baby carrier to sag over my chest and neck to plug up my yawns. The stammering cough has inspired a rash. Soothing menders waddle in with loads of foreign toolboxes and packing new lotions and frozen cotton rags. The uproar of nurses makes me nervous. From their dusty banter, my windowsill tulips have been smudged. I hear the revolting news and am bedridden. No one is here to judge the obligation but a sister. Her gums are glossy as washed pigs, shooting out teeth like white cackling vegetables. A garland forms around my forehead. During the fever, I sweat out the skeleton memory like smeary daytime. It is hardly a nuisance to rid my claw of him, to whack at the humor wedged in his nose. It is not a bother to be so awake. The mother has hacked away her head like a log, and the coiled lamb in her eyelids been eaten by farmers. Now that the melted flesh has trimmed me so thin, I can hover over the swarm of medicated clowns. I can expose the dead clammy bats in the privileged ribcage. I have nothing to wear but the fresh lump of skin the rash left, and the scabby juice from the sibling nest. My appetite has grown its own feeding tube, and solutions are getting threaded down there. In 20 years, I have never felt such suffocating repair.